Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Kansas Speedways. We're getting set for the running of the Kansas 250, race number 14 of the NR2003 Diva Truck Series. Getting ready to go racing here at the mile-and-a-half track. Jayla DeRazin starts on the pole position for today's race. DeRazin moved up to 13th in the point standings. Alongside of her is, is Donna Ramirez. Donna Ramirez, on the other hand, fell down 2 spots down to 30th in the point standings. Tatiana Guerra in row number 2 lost a spot to 40th in the standings. And Giovanna Wright, who announced will not be back in that number 04 machine next season. Giovanna Wright comes into this race in the 28th position in the points. As you look at the rest of the starting grid here, as we're going to get these trucks rolling off behind the pace car. And let's go with the top 10 points presented by Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness. Abigail Lynn is still the points leader by 157 points over Ruby Walker. Claudia Flores is third in the standings. She's tied with Elena Lydia, who is 177 points back. Abigail Furley lost 3 spots after last week's race at Memphis. She fell to fifth in the standings. Naomi Hudson moved up to sixth in the standings, 220 points back. Shayla Askeroff is seventh. Ruby White fell down 2 spots down to eighth in the standings. Stephanie Liera is ninth in the point standings, and 10th is Aurora Combs. Shayla Askeroff also announced today she will not be back in the 36 ride next season, as she will still be running in the GTS Array category. 14 laps on tap here today and for this race weekend here at Kansas. Next week will be another mile-and-a-half track the trucks will be racing. That will be Sean Art's home track of Texas Motor Speedway. But let's go racing at Kansas before we get to Texas. And the green flag is out. We're racing in the heartland of Kansas. Last week, this series passed the halfway mark in their championship, which we have 12 races to go, including today's race. It will be 11 after today. Jayla DeRazin going to take the race lead here. Tatiana Guerra trying to go onto the inside in that number 20 machine. She has had a tough run of races in her part-time schedule. Came in this race 30th in, came in this race 40th in the points table, despite missing 2 races as she goes by Jayla DeRazin. Samantha Johnson is dead last in points of the drivers that have run every race this season. Tatiana Guerra is still trying to find her first win of the season in the Truck Series. The only wins that Captain Frank has between the 3 girls he's got on his roster, which is from Noguera, Sarnes, and Kaiser, have been Kaiser's 2 wins this season. Their last win was Michigan back in the first half of the regular season. Hanako Watanabe trying to catch Tatiana Guerra. They're 3 wide there with, looks like that was Ingrid Pollard who was way up there 3 wide. Watanabe comes into this race, if I can find her in points, and she's going to take the lead underneath Tatiana Guerra. Watanabe is 17th in points, former winner this season. Ada Chua going to go by Tatiana Guerra, and also that's going to bring Junie Carter in the 75. Speaking of Abigail Lynn, this has been a topic I would like to bring up. She is with a new team owner, which I will discuss that with discuss this right now. After the round of Memphis, Abigail Lynn, Hazel Eveling no longer with Nathan Orman Motorsports for the rest of the Diva Truck Series, as well as their sisters, which we will see them in 2 days' time in the Diva Cup Series as they are back from their 2-week vacation, which we're very excited to have the Diva Cup Series back. Um, They will not continue the rest of the season with Nathan Orman Motorsports. They have jumped ship to Indiana Motorsports. This was by Amber McMillan's choice, not the driver's choice. So for the rest of the season, Abigail Lynn, Hazel Eveling, and their sisters, um, Courtney and Brenda, who we will see them in 2 days' time, they will now be with Indiana Motorsports for the remainder of the season. The only thing that is going to be question mark is going to retain about this driver right here, Abigail Furling. What's going to happen as far as the relationship with her and Orman, as far as I'm concerned? There's been rumors that Abigail Furling will split from Nathan Orman at the end of the season, which we expect an announcement to be made before the Texas race next weekend. Unless Orman convinces Abigail Furling to stay. But knowing Abigail Furling, I know her well, and she wants a good loyalty team owner who can definitely support her, and not a team owner who's going to complain about every sports team, if you know what I mean. And so we're going to check the back of the field here. Ruby White's back here at the rear of the field. That's a driver who's eighth in the points table. There's Ingrid Pollard. There's Kathy Rogers. Speaking of Abigail Lynn, where is our points leader? She's in 21st. The gal who's trying to run her down for the points lead, Ruby Walker, 24th. And she's starting to fade back towards the end of this race. And that's second in points. I don't know where Claudia Flores is. That would be third in points. She's all the way back in 35th. Ooh. Talk about the points are going to get mighty shaken up from this truck series heading into next week at Texas. That is where we're heading next. And the trucks will get an off week. Because the following week, we're going to go road course racing at one of my favorite tracks, Watkins Glen International Raceway. So hope you'll tune in for that. Of course, tomorrow we got the Mr. Good Sense 300 for the Diva Bush Series, and then the Banquet 400, the Diva Cup Series returns from their nice, enjoyable off weeks as they make their push to the championship. As Ada Chua comes into this race. Excuse me. Chua comes in this race 32nd in points. I talked about last week with a Diva Bush driver which was Elizabeth Gardner, who we will see tomorrow, who didn't get her first top five until she won last week at Memphis. Well, Ada Chua is also in that same category. If she can hold off Naomi Hudson in the 7. As we take the white flag, one more lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Naomi Hudson is going to capitalize big time on Abigail Lynn in the Drivers' Championship with 11 races left to go in the championship. And I know I'm going to mention something in the Diva Bush Series race when we cross that bridge. Off of turn number 4, Ada Chua is going to win the Kansas 250 here at Kansas Speedway in a caution-free race. We've been getting a lot of caution-free races in the last couple of weeks for the Diva Truck Series, so that's something good we can take out of this. Naomi Hudson, Hanako Watanabe, Tatiana Naguera. How about Emma Kaiser? Didn't talk much about Emma Kaiser, the two-time winner this season. And Kaiser came as race 26 in points, so talk about a good run for that three truck. Junie Carter got sixth, Stephanie Liera seventh. Balam Kim, Shanti Darwish, and Olivia Jackson complete the top 10. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, a lot of drivers who are running well in points. This is going to be massive hits for them in the championship. Abigail Lynn finished 21st, came as race as your points leader. Ruby Walker, 36, came as race second in points. Claudia Flores, third in points. 37th is where she's going to finish. And all 42 trucks that started this race all finished on the lead lap. But a lot of names down here at the bottom. This is not what they needed. And the points are really going to get shaken up heading into next week at Texas. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Kansas. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Crew today. We showed our full finish results. I'll have a separate video with your point standings heading into next week at Texas. But we got to finish up our race weekend from Kansas with Diva Bush and Cup coming your way from the heartland of Kansas. Until then, I've been Devil signing off. You've been watching another broadcast of PCS TV, the best in racing since 2017. Goodbye from Kansas Speedway.